We're back. Ever professional, aren't we, Mr. Barker? We're just having a bit of a gossip. Because basically that's what news is, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To be honest, it's just you're being paid to gossip.
Yeah.
So let's get on with it. Let's actually change gear in reverse, take the laughter out of the situation, because this isn't a laughing matter at all, is it? About
it's a properly shocking story. I mean, it sort of led the way at the start of the week. This awful rape trial in the Midlands. Two Afghan migrants got jailed for the rape of a 15-year-old. We're getting so many of them at the moment. They're literally just lining up in the news queues. And these pair, we've now discovered, because they're only 17, they get to go to a youth offenders institute rather than a staunch hard-line jail. And in this youth offenders institute, they get to have film nights, craft sessions. They can even play Jenga if they like, which is just incredible, really.
So they get their own cells, their own showers, they've got phones, desks, laptops, TV, DVD player. Oh, may as well just roll out some sort of massage and yoga lessons. They'll probably get that as well.
Exactly.
I mean, it's... You know, like you said, this stuff is happening all the time now. And the people like me were screaming that this was going to happen, that it was happening for years and being made to feel like a monster. But there was couples, I don't know if it's the same guys, but one of them's basically tooled around all over Europe in like designer swagger gear, big gold watch, lots of selfie photos. I'm going to say something, Will. You might sort of want to hide under the desk and pretend you didn't hear it. But I put it on X today. I think it's something that we've got to get to grips with as a country, which is, without doubt, there are young men in the Middle East and in the Maghreb, and they live in a society where there is no sexual freedom. They cannot see a woman's ankle, let alone go on a date, hold hands, snog in the back row of the cinema. You know, that's for the birds. They don't get to do that. And yet they'll all have one of these. They'll all be able to probably access adult content, things on Instagram even. So they have a notion of what Western girls are like. And we know as well that people traffickers on TikTok use videos of girls on a night out to say, oh, you want to come to Britain? Some of these young men are probably coming to this country for the express reason that they want to.
Yeah, I mean, we've had grooming gang figures out again today, and they're terrible as well. And there clearly is, we have got a real issue in the country that we need to tackle in some kind of way, because we keep seeing all these figures, we keep having all these stories, and they keep over and over again every day at the moment. Again,
I always get upset when we have to rely on figures, when common sense would tell you if a man's coming from a very misogynistic culture, he's not going to suddenly become a Me Too movement, you know, mouthpiece the minute he hits Dover. But no, we've got to get the data first. Doesn't matter if those statistics are actual women. Right, let's move on, shall we? Meghan Markle. I love this story because,
you know, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, she was like, I sent him an email and I assumed it didn't bounce. Oh, I was then, you know, phoning up all the different hospitals to find out which one he was in. And now she's apparently sent some sort of letter to her father. It's like, girl, you could easily find out where he was at and get on a plane and go see him.
I think they really struggled, you know.
Really?
We sort of bizarrely, we've sort of now been we've got a line of communication with them, let's say, and which we didn't have before for obvious reasons. We had
he didn't like you, did he?
Didn't like us at all. But we're kind of talking to him, and I think they were really struggling to get hold of him and work out where he was. And I think they've really miffed that the Daily Mail have got alongside him, and they feel like that the Mail are kind of using him, meanwhile, he's out there desperately wanting to speak to his daughter and get in contact with her, whereas she's but she's now saying she's not going to go over, and she sent this letter instead.
I mean, yeah, it's like a letter's one thing, but I don't know, like your parent on a deathbed, if he is on a deathbed, to me it's all very sad.
It is really sad. It's a father and daughter, and you think maybe towards the end they could find a way through it or something when he's on death's door or potentially at death's door, but seemingly they can't get over it.
Here's a grim segue if ever you've heard one. Talking about death's door.
Yes. I've really picked the jolly stories today, haven't I?
Yeah, super spreader flu. We keep hearing this, that there's some sort of horrible flu-nami that's about to hit, and this is a nasty, nasty flu.
Exactly. There's a flu. The figures are going to come out tomorrow. We're expecting record levels. I don't know what you're like in your offices, but our newsroom's been particularly badly hit. It's sort of Christmas party season. Everybody's going down. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I've never had a day off sick, you know. I'm fine.
I had the worst flu at the start of this year that I got in America, and
Yeah.
I've never been so ill. For the whole year it got me.
Right.
Whole year. I had shingles twice off the back of it. I got vestibular neuritis, which I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That is something. It's when the nerve connection, your eyes and your ears gets infected, and basically it's around the clock feeling like you're drunk and just stepping off the waltzers.
Right.
Like to the point that you want to throw up. You just want to, you know, the only time lie down, you got it. Walking, it was the most. I literally have had the worst health this year because of some monster flu, and I really never want that again. So I actually, in terms of this, flu worries me a lot more than COVID ever did, I've got to say.
That's the thing. I think we're so well versed because of what we went through with COVID. We're sort of now well prepped for these kind of things, and I think they're telling lots of people now to wear masks again. I think Birmingham, my town, is quite badly hit at the moment. There's lots of hospitals all going into lockdown over all this, and so yeah, we wait to see what happens tomorrow. But as I say, it's Christmas party season, so everybody's out socialising, and it's sort of going to get worse, I think, into next week.
Here it comes again, though, something quite contentious, which is the idea that kids, because they're super spreaders, 'tis true, they're all in those classrooms together, sharing their germs, little petri dishes of filth. But we know that, but there's sort of suggestion from NHS bosses that they should get a vaccine.
Yeah.
And it comes down to this idea that a vaccine doesn't necessarily stop you being the transporter of something, being the vessel of something. You might not get it badly, but you would still carry it and potentially spread it. That to me seems like a bit of controversy in all of this.
Yeah. I think we now know what we should be doing really after post-COVID, but just be careful.
I would just say to anybody, if you're poorly, please just stay away from people. It shouldn't be about everyone else locking down. If you're poorly, just don't go and don't be the valiant person who's like, oh, oh, I feel terrible. I've come into the office. Go home.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want it. Go home, sit under your slanket, put on some daytime TV, live your best life, keep your germs to yourself. Seriously. I can think of one presenter who I absolutely love in our sort of stable of talent, who is always the valiant, don't come in.
Yeah.
I won't name names. Now, I love this story. Tell me about what football fans are enjoying.
I don't know how many football burgers you've had over the days, but you don't really often think of them as great meat products. You kind of wonder what's probably gone into them. There might be some cow's eyelashes and all sorts of things.
Back in the day, it was donkey meat. Remember those good old days?
Yeah, they're highly not great. But in this new world where we live in, the Premier League, you know, the most successful league in the world, they're suddenly gone into fine dining. They've kicked out beef, and now venison is on the menu, and you can the various stadiums have now taken it up, and it's an idea as a sort of a kind of climate change type thing. I don't really understand it. Some sort of eco drive to stop eating
a
beef.
cow's fart. That's gonna, the planet's gonna burst into flames as a result. I hate that nonsense.
Yeah.
But it's interesting looking at some of these places that are, because they're saying they're going to switch to wild deer in an effort to cut carbon emissions. I'll tell you what it is. There's a lot of wild deer.
Yeah.
When you're out in the sticks like I am, there's blimmin' loads of them. You go down the Forest of Dean, there's more deer than people, and wild boar.
Well,
and so probably less expensive these days.
2 years ago, I was driving along in the Cotswolds, and one came out and bumped into me, took my car out.
Ooh, where were you?
Lay dead on the camping site somewhere or other. Lay dead on the side. Apparently, if I'd picked it up, I could have taken it home and had it for tea.
Wow.
That's
how big's your car? Must have something
big boot.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're driving a sort of a Fiat Panda or something,
no, it wasn't
you tangle with a stag, you're in big trouble. But here we go, another one. Non-league club Forest Green Rovers has an entirely vegan policy. We all know who runs Forest Green Rovers.
Yes.
That's old Mr. Dale Vince.
Exactly.
It says Forest Green Rovers in the Cotswolds. Stroud, mate, Stroud.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I don't know whether Stroud's technically the Cotswolds. I'm going to be a snob about this. But no, I mean, I quite like it. And it's a far healthier meat.
Yes.
And I think that's a great story. I like it.
Good.
All right, there you go. Bring on the venison. Feels quite festive as well, having venison.
Yeah.
Well, thank you ever so much.
And to you.
Lovely to see you again, my darling.
Cheers.
Okay, we're